I am going to talk about Horus. He was the sky god. Horus is shown as a hawk or a man with a hawk's head and the crown of all Egypt. Horus has a crown made of two parts. The white part is the crown of Upper Egypt. The red part is the crown of Lower Egypt. Together they show that Horus ruled all Egypt. When Horus was a baby, his father Osiris was killed by Seth. When Horus grew up, he went to war with Seth, who blinded Horus by taking out his eye, but Thoth, the god of wisdom, managed to heal the eye, which became a magic charm. The eye was also used to describe fractions by the Egyptians.
Ramses II was one of the greatest ancient Egypt pharaohs. The pharaoh is sometimes referred to as Ramses the Great due to his great ancient accomplishments and to his long reign over Egypt. His reign lasted over 90 years. He was born as son of a pharaoh, thereby receiving to the throne after his father's death. Ramses II went on to accomplish much more than his father or the other pharaohs had done before or after him. Ramses II is known not only as Ramses the Great, but also as a great warrior, builder and family man. In all these categories he seemed to excel. We know this due to the many templates that are still standing today. He fathered over 100 children and had many wives. Today we know that he outlived at least 12 of his sons and most probably many wives and grandchildren during his lifetime. Just received his mummy was found, and this had given us more information on the man that ruled from 1979 BC to 1213 BC. It has helped to let us know what the many have looked like.
For my Sphinx challenge, I have chosen to be Horus, the Egyptian falcon god. I'm always shown as a falcon or hawk. Sometimes I am shown with a human body and a falcon's head. I was the god of the sky, light and goodness. I soared above and protected the land of the pharaohs. Today, Egypt Air have a picture of me, Horus, on their aeroplanes. My mum and dad were Isis and Osiris. Before I was born, my dad was called by my uncle Seth. I was the god of Lower Egypt, and my uncle Seth was the god of Upper Egypt. When I became a grown-up, I took revenge on Uncle Seth for killing my dad, and I united the two kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt. This war lasted for around 80 years. Legend says that during the war, Uncle Seth hurt one of my eyes, which is believed to have resulted in the symbol of Wadjat, the Eye of Horus. This symbol was found on the mummy of King Tutankhamun. The Egyptians believed that after I died, I came back to earth as each of the pharaohs who are the rulers of the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt. As the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, I wore a double crown on my head. The white crown was the crown of Upper Egypt, and the red crown was the crown of Lower Egypt. I have become known as a healer for people with snake bites and scorpion stings.
Cleopatra took over the throne from her father. She was only 17 years old. Cleopatra, not Egyptian but Macedonian, she was born in Alexandria Alexandria in 69 BC before Christ. Cleopatra was the first in her family to be able to speak Egyptian. Cleopatra was told to leave Egypt and she escaped to Syria, but she didn't want to leave Egypt without a fight. Due to a feud between Cleopatra's brother and Julius Caesar, where Julius Caesar's friend was killed, Cleopatra was offered to go back to Egypt to meet with Julius Caesar. Cleopatra and Julius Caesar of Rome had a love affair which resulted in Cleopatra's having a son. She is said to be the most beautiful of all Egyptian pharaohs.
Life of King Tut. Tut became king at 9 years old. He died at the age of 18, so he ruled for 9 years. His death was caused by falling from a horse, and a poisonous snake bitten him.
I am Seth. I am the god of the desert and stone, and I am also known as the god of chaos. I am the second son of Geb and Nut, and the great-grandchild of the Egyptian god Ra. My brother is Oz. Sometimes in drawings I am shown as a human body with a typhoon animal head which has a curved snout and square ears. I am worshipped at the temples of Olympus in Upper Egypt and also in the town of Sempiramur, which is the gateway to the desert. Some people think that I was born evil, but other people think I turned evil as I got older. I killed my brother Oris by drowning him in a coffin in the river Nile. Then I chopped his body up and left bits of him all over the Egyptian desert. I also had a battle with Horus's son, Horus. When I poked out Horus's left eye after the fighting, I was sent to live in the desert by the Egyptian, over the Egyptian gods away from everyone else.
This is my talk on King Armus I. The name Armus means the moon is born. King Armus I's throne name was Lord of Strength. King Armus I became ruler of Egypt around 1550 BC, was the age of 10, ruled for around 25 years and died aged 35. King Armus I had 10 children. King Armus I was one of the greatest pharaohs, even though he was not one of the most well-known.
Seti I was a pharaoh of ancient Egypt from 1294 to 1279 BC. His father was Ramses I and his mother was called Sitri. When he was in power of Egypt, he helped to open mines and quarries and build wells. He restored temples and shrines that had gone downhill. He built a temple at Abydos and also built the greatest tomb in the Valley of the Kings near Thebes. He had a son called Ramses II, reigned after him. His mummied body is in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings.
Pharaoh. He died in 2532 before Christ. He had lots of wives and at least 12 sons and 3 daughters. Reign 2558 to 2532 before Christ in the 4th dynasty. His dad was King Khufu.
and his mum was Queen Henutsen. The king before him was Djedefra. The king after him was Menkara. The statue of Kafara, originally found at Midrahana, now it is in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. Monument, Pyramid of Kafara. Great Sphinx of Giza has the face of a human and a body of a lion. Kafara built the second largest pyramid. It is 3 meters shorter than Khufu's.